Hi, my name is Monika and today I'm going to show you how to make rhubarb cake. The rhubarb plant in Poland, we use it very often in cakes and for compote. Compote is a little sweet beverage for each dinner that we would have, and the stems of rhubarb are really good for cake. So it is, good time for rhubarb because we can get it at the grocery store right now. So I got it yesterday, and what I can do with it? Cake. So let's start. What you need for the rhubarb cake? You're going to have to find nice medium-sized mixing bowl so we can mix all the ingredients. I'm using handheld mixer because it has plastic beaters, so I don't scratch my beautiful pottery. So I use handheld mixer. And for the cake itself, you're going to need 2 whole eggs. I have large eggs, but if you have medium size, they are also fine. If you really have small eggs, then maybe use 3, but yeah, 2 eggs. You need 2 eggs. We're going to have only half a cup of sugar in the recipe and 3/4 of cup of flour. Then 1/4 cup of oil, cooking oil, vegetable oil, and then baking powder and baking soda. But as I go and add it, I will let you know exactly how much of what. And well, let me start with cracking the eggs. So again, 2 eggs. And we're going to use whole eggs. We are not separating the yolks from the whites. And we're going to beat the eggs with half a cup of sugar for, well, I don't know how long, but till they are kind of yellow and fluffy, creamy consistency, like, something you would like to just lick it. So that's the eggs. Well, maybe let's add right away the sugar before I make mess in here. So half a cup. So I do have my measuring cup, half a cup, and just add it to your eggs. Ooh. That is the little dust from sugar. And start mixing. So I will mix it on high, so it's going to be a little bit loud, but it's okay, we can handle it. It's going to take probably 3 to 5 minutes to have the consistency we want. It has to be fluffy and lighter in color, because right now it's very yellow, and later it's going to turn into, well, creamy color. Nice and fluffy. And I'm going to splash all around the table, of course. So yeah, it is becoming nice and filled with bubbles of air, and change the color. You want to mix it as long as the whole sugar is kind of well melted with the eggs. Then we're going to add 1/4 cup of cooking oil to the eggs and sugar mixture. This is my oil. Here is my oil. So let's add 1/4 of a cup. And this recipe is prepared for loaf pan size baking dish. So the regular loaf pan, approximately 8 by 5 and 3 inches tall. So that's what I wanted. It's loaf pan size sweet bread with rhubarb. Well, not sweet bread because this is cake. So you can use it for coffee in the morning. You can treat it like coffee cake. And a few more minutes with the oil. Okay, so that's 2 eggs, half a cup of sugar, and 1/4 cup of cooking oil. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, so whoops, a little bit more than half a teaspoon. If you have the measuring spoons, well, use them. If not, in Poland we always cook and bake by kind of like judging by eyeballing. Okay, oops, my rhubarb is moving. Now I will add 3/4 of a cup of flour. So I do have 1/4 measuring cup. It's going to be easier for me to add it that way. I will start with 1/4 and then add half a teaspoon of baking powder. Slightly mix it together. And 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So that's the baking powder and baking soda for the cake. So I'm not going to turn on the mixer yet. It's just mixing it with the flour and the egg mixture, like, you know, slightly. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And then add the rest of the flour. So 2 more of the 1/4 size cup. So I have 3/4. Okay. And I like the small cup because it can be sitting in my flour jar without removing it. Okay, so that's the flour. And I will just try to incorporate as much flour as I can without turning on the mixer, because it's important for this cake to retain as much air in the egg mixture as possible. So I don't want to pop all the bubbles with the mixer. So that is okay, almost done. I will just give it a little bit mix with the mixer on low for just a few seconds to make sure everything is incorporated. Now let's double check myself and my memory if I added everything that I need for the cake itself. I have eggs, I have sugar, I have oil, I have vanilla extract, I have baking soda and baking powder. Vanilla extract, yes, yes. What else? Sugar, yes. Everything. Looks like I have everything. Okay, so I'm going to remove the beaters from my mixer. Don't make mess, Monica. Ugh. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the sink. And okay. I am making more mess. Okay, so this is what we need for the cake. I already have prepared the loaf pan. I greased it with butter and I used crumbs of crackers, Graham crackers, to have the cake later to be removed easier from the form. But you can use flour, you can use breadcrumbs, any type of crumbs is good to have the cake remove easier after baking. You can also use the spray with flour in it, so you don't have to use your fingers with the butter. It's cleaner with the spray, but I like the old-fashioned. And with the graham crackers crumbles or crumbs, it's you know, it's sweet. I like it. I just like it. So what we're going to do, we're going to pour the mixture to prepared loaf pad. And yes, I'm going to use my finger to scoop all the cake mixture. Why not? I can. Yeah, I remember back in Poland, baking was my favorite thing. Especially if I had like chocolate cake to make or something with chocolate. This was like my favorite well, licking the balls later. That's the super thing to do when you're baking. And my mom would always tell me, no, don't do that, you can get sick. Well, I guess I didn't get sick because I'm still here. Okay, I'm going to wash my finger. And I will show you what we're going to do with the rhubarb now. So the rhubarb, when you have your own, is the best because it's going to be the freshest and, you know, juicy and crispy. And the one from store, sometimes, you know, they are like few days old. So, well, maybe they are not the freshest, but they are still good. So what I do, I just peel the thin skin from the stems, so I have easier task of cutting them. And in the cake later, you won't have that kind of thick, or maybe the impression of thick skin on the rhubarb. So yeah, the thin skin is just, you can peel it easily with knife. And when you cut it, you will also see what parts of the skin of the stems you missed, because it will show while you're cutting them. And I will cut them in maybe not half an inch is going to be too thick, maybe 1/4 inch of little slices of the stems. But I'm looking for something that I can use for, yes, I can use for the rhubarb that I cut. So, well, yeah, little slices, 1/4. Okay, so that's the rhubarb. And yeah, like I said, you will see what you missed because it's going to show while you're cutting them. So, I will probably need maybe 2 cups, approximately 2 cups of cut rhubarb for the portion of cake I have here. And after you cut it, you're going to put it on top of the cake. I will use maybe half a teaspoon of cinnamon to sprinkle on top of the rhubarb, and the cake will go to the oven for 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes at 350 degrees. So it is easy, and you can bake it seasonally, of course, because the rhubarb is growing usually during summer, late summer, especially in Poland, because Poland is a little bit cold country, so we have rhubarb late summer, maybe the, you know, nice long leaves with the stems that are ready for baking and making compote. And if you buy too much of rhubarb, or if you have too much rhubarb if you got in your garden, you can also cut the rhubarb in little chunks and make compote out of it. So compote is basically boiled water with the fruits and a little bit of sugar just to taste, and you have compote. You can cool it down and serve it with dinner, or you can drink it instead of soda. Healthier option, the compote. Homemade, fresh, and I'm sure you're not going to use as much of sugar in the compote you are making at home than the sodas that are at the store. So, well, just think about it and try. And you can use different fruits for compote. So, okay, maybe 2 cups, maybe not. I don't know how much I have here, but I baked 1 portion before, and I had approximately 2 cups. And I used 3 stems, but they were slightly on the tinier, like thinner side. So you can, well, it depends what size of baking dish you're going to use, and you will see by yourself if you need to add more or maybe it's enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push them slightly into the mixture of the cake, and the remainder I'm going to just leave on top. So I have few pieces immersed in the cake and some of the pieces on top. And while they're going to bake, well, the cake one is going to bake, all the cake is going to kind of rise, and anyway the rhubarb is going to be almost covered by the cake. Okay, fantastic looking, and the end product is going to be delicious. A little bit sour, a little bit sweet, because you have sugar in the cake as well. And after you finish, when it's ready and it's already maybe cooled down for 15 or 20 minutes, you can just sprinkle it with powdered sugar for the looks, and it's going to be delicious for coffee in the morning, or you can have tea and piece of cake afternoon. That's your choice, whatever you want, or whenever you want to eat your cake. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sprinkle it with cinnamon, a little bit of cinnamon on top. That's it. And if you like a lot of cinnamon, you can add more. But I'm just going to just lightly sprinkle it with cinnamon. And when it's going to bake, it's going to smell delicious and make your stomach rumbling. So let's put it aside for 1 second, because I'm going to show you a ready cake with rhubarb. So I have it in the oven. Let's see. It's in the oven, waiting. I hope it's okay. Yep. Okay. Hot. I'm going to slightly move the pieces on the table so I have a room for my beautiful cake. Okay, so that's the end product, and like I said, you can have powdered sugar and just sprinkle on top, and when you're going to cut it, you should see the, let's see, I need to try, because oh, it's so soft, because I've been waiting for rhubarb for almost a year. Yes, last fall I think I baked rhubarb cake, and that was it. Smells delicious. Looks fantastic. And I need to try it. But I don't see my fork. Or my forks. All of them. Voila. Oh, it's so fluffy. Let's try it. The cinnamon, that was extra, but perfect addition. The mixture of the sourness of rhubarb and the sweetness from the cake and a bit of cinnamon is just angelic. Guys, you have to try it. So, remember, 350 degrees, 50 minutes, 45 minutes. You can check with skewer if the dough is not sticking to the wooden skewer. And if it's ready, you can turn it off, let it cool down for maybe 15-20 minutes and sprinkle with powdered sugar if you want to. If not, it's delicious without powdered sugar anyway, so you can eat it right away, straight from the oven, and it smells fantastic. So thank you so much for watching, and try it and let me know if you like it. Bye!